Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm the GQ Jedi. If you're not already subscribed to me, blast that subscribe button down below so you don't miss any valuable Star Wars content. Now today we're going to discuss the Kenner pilots. There's a few pilots in the Kenner Star Wars action figure line, and today we're going to go over those pilots.
Kenner first released Luke Skywalker as an X-Wing pilot in 1978 on cardback. Such an awesome figure. The hero we were all looking for at playtime and the one that we deserved. And here is my X-Wing Luke Skywalker. Just a great action figure all around. I think everyone had this figure growing up. Maybe didn't know right away that it was Luke if you tore the packaging apart because you don't really see the blonde hair. He does pack his smuggler rebel blaster. And speaking of the hair, look at this helmet. Smiley little face, but that black there is the visor. Some people thought maybe that was possibly hair. So like I said, if you tore the card back apart, you may not have known it was actually Luke. Just another pilot in the rebellion. An interesting fact there. So like I said, some people thought it was hair and some people knew it was the visor. What about you guys? Let me know in the comments down below. Did you know it was his visor? But this detailing on this figure is pretty awesome. I do love his flight suit. I think Kenner did a great job. The insignias on his helmet are spot on. I mean, it's a Red 5 helmet, guys. This is Luke Skywalker when you really look at it. I love this figure. Everyone at playtime, like I said, had this figure and used it to take on the almighty Galactic Empire. Kenner released the Cloud Car pilot on cardback in 1982. We briefly saw the pilot on Cloud City in flying in the Cloud Car itself. Barely seen him in the cockpit, but Kenner decided to give us a figure, which is pretty cool. Kind of a funky looking retro 60s Jetson kind of jumpsuit helmet combination here, in my opinion. Like I said, he's a funky looking dude, but we got a pilot, guys. The helmet, signature helmet. He does come with the the comlink, and the power drill blaster, as I like to refer to it as. One of the only figures to come with two accessories, so it's interesting that the Cloud Car pilot was given two accessories out of everyone. You would have thought maybe Lobot would have gotten the comlink, but the pilot did instead. But you know, this figure, you know, we need a pilot for the Cloud Car, and Kenner delivered one to us. So luckily we got one. He is his own action figure. I don't think he could be mistaken in a lineup in any of the Kenner figures. It's kind of a shame that we didn't actually see the Cloud Car pilot outside of the Cloud Car. So Kenner obviously took some creative liberties with his whole look. Because in the movie we only got to see his helmet. Definitely a unique figure. In 1982, Kenner finally released the Imperial TIE Fighter pilot, a much needed action figure at playtime. Kids had to wait a couple years because the pilot was not ready and released when the TIE Fighter toy came out. But I think the wait was worth it. I think this action figure is awesome. I don't know any kid out there that didn't want this action figure. Great detailing on him. I mean, it looks very screen accurate to what we saw in the film. Great insignias. I think that's a nice touch. Really gives you the impression that this is a TIE Fighter pilot. And he is also sporting the power drill blaster, like the Cloud Car pilot. Kenner was fond of that blaster look, apparently. I'm not hating on it. It's just a goofy looking weapon. But it's okay because this pilot is awesome. I mean, he really is an amazing looking action figure. A true, Imperial figure. I mean, look at the jumpsuit, the detail on the hoses coming from his helmet. The helmet is incredibly awesome. Just amazing detail. I really, truly do dig this action figure a lot. Kenner did not disappoint when they created this TIE Fighter pilot for us, guys. Super jazzed on this figure. He's one of the coolest in the Empire Strikes Back lineup, without question. In 1984, Kenner released the BWing Pilot on cardback. Kids finally got a second pilot for the rebellion. X-Wing Luke was flying every ship up to that point, and Now, well, we had a second choice. We had the BWing Pilot, and a pretty sweet figure at that. I really do like his red flight suit. He's got a cool helmet, pretty decent detailing on him. I do think with the red jumpsuit he stands out in a crowd, and of course the helmet it's a signature one-of-a-kind helmet. Nice paint apps on the chest there, and he does come sporting the bluish gray Endor blaster, one that Princess Leia with Poncho carries. Interesting enough, like I said earlier, that the pilots get a blaster, but hey, it makes sense that they gave him a blaster, because if he were to get shot down, he would need to protect himself all on foot, so that absolutely makes sense when I think about it. It's funny that they gave him the Endor blaster that Leia has. Like I said, I guess Kenner likes to, they were recycling ideas. Yet again, they gave a lot of figures the same weapons throughout the line, so it's no surprise here. But overall, I think the BWing Pilot is a great figure, a welcome addition to the Kenner line, and a much-needed pilot for the BWing. In 1985, Kenner released the Awing Pilot as part of the Power of the Force toy line. An awesome action figure. And again, we finally get another pilot for the Rebellion. This time he is sporting a green flight suit. They did change up the helmet a little bit. He actually looks quite a bit different than the BWing Pilot, and rightfully so. He's a completely different pilot. I love the look of this figure overall. He is one of the last 17 figures, a much sought after figure in anyone's Kenner collection. And, just an overall cool figure to have, in my opinion, just because he's a pilot. He does come sporting a black Endor blaster, similar to the BWing Pilot's blaster. They both got the same model blaster, but this one is a black version. Not quite sure why Kenner decided to change the color, but because he's a Power of the Force figure. And he was also included in the Droids toy line. I guess they decided to differentiate him a little more by changing the color of his blasters. So that's my best guess on that one. Of course, if you lose this blaster, you're going to pay a hefty little price for it, because all these little weapons, unlike the BWing blaster, go for a lot of money. So don't lose your last 17 A-Wing Pilot blaster, or any last 17 weapon for that matter. But I really do like this figure. I'm a huge fan of the A-Wing ship. The toy's amazing, and the pilot is just as cool in my book. And down here in my one of my Detolfs, I have an X-Wing Luke hanging out in his X-Wing only right. Perfect setting for him to be displayed. It just makes sense to stick Luke in his X-Wing, because that's where this action figure belongs. And on this shelf, I have two Cloud Car pilots occupying the Cloud Car. You do need two, one for each pod, so to speak. It is a twin pod Cloud Car, as the name suggests, so that's where I put them. And on this shelf, I have my TIE Fighter pilot next to his TIE Fighter. Again, this only makes sense to display them next to each other, and they look so awesome. So yeah, this is their shelf. And here we have my BWing Pilot inside the cockpit of the BWing, which is a pretty awesome ship. The only thing is I put a little support piece underneath the wing. Tends to sag over time from age, so just trying to keep it nice and uniformed. So this is my BWing setup. And down on this shelf I have the A-Wing Pilot with his A-Wing. Such an awesome ship. I really love this ship a lot. And of course I got to stick the pilot on top of it, just looking like an absolute boss, like he just came back from a mission or about to go on a mission. But either way, he looks great on his ship.
I appreciate you guys tuning in today, and hope you enjoyed the video. And if you did, please share it and give that like button a thumbs up, because it greatly helps out the channel. And if you've not done so, blast that subscribe button and hit that notifications bell so you don't miss any valuable Star Wars content. And remember, collect or collect not, there is no try.